Good morning, people. Well, it's morning here in Jamaica anyway. I'm back with another recording this morning. This recording, I'm going to refer to it as Signs You Have Been Chosen by the Universe. But before I go into my interpretation of being chosen by the universe, in my view, I need to discuss mental health first, because mental health has a bearing in terms of how people progress through the awakening process. Now, I'm not a mental health practitioner, but I've spent over 25 years within the social work field, and I have interacted with people determined to have mental health concerns, not only children but also parents. So although I'm not a mental health practitioner, I have enough experience, unqualified experience, to establish or to make a determination about myself in terms of my current position in terms of mental and emotional health. Now, I might be biased, but I certainly do not determine myself as having a mental health issue. But I should also say, in the event that I did have to go and have an assessment, for example, in terms of my mental health, I know that with what I have experienced, I would be determined as having an issue, which goes in line with everybody else that has had this experience in terms of the awakening and who have also been hospitalized, you know, which is really quite sad, really. I mean, there is enough evidence around today to make a determination of what thousands and thousands of people have been experiencing and actually saying the same things, but there's no real research in terms of that, which is a shame. And if I am able to make a difference, little or me, make a difference in the future to that, then that's an area that I would like to explore, because certainly in my view, what I am experiencing is definitely outside the box for me and thousands of other people. It's just that practice in terms of mental health hasn't changed in terms of this awakening process that we all are going through. I know that this experience is really quite difficult. It has been difficult for me, but I've had to analyze myself, assess myself in terms of what my experiences have been. And lucky for me, I've still got a lot going around in my mind in terms of my experiences, and I have also documented a lot in terms of my experiences. So, which is keeping me going now. But what I am concerned about is how things are going to look in the next maybe five years in terms of people who are awakening to the awakening process. And at some point, people have to come together in unity who have experienced the awakening process and actually start to advocate on each other, because I can assure you what I am feeling, what I am encountering personally, for me is real. For me, it's real. And for thousands of other people out there also, it is real. The sad thing about this is that there are thousands and thousands of people out there that have experienced this awakening and still experiencing the awakening, but due to the way things have been up to now, they are scared to actually voice what is actually going on with them. And I can't say that I blame you either, because, the mental health institution has a lot of power to determine whether somebody is safe within the community. And you can actually be removed from the community on the premise that you are at risk to self and others, which is not good at all. Because I know for myself, I'm not at risk to myself, and I'm certainly not at risk to anybody else. So I think, you can be hospitalized over a period of 72 hours for an assessment. And the assessments, as I can determine from what I have read, is really quite biased, and it is in the direction of somebody having an assessment then being determined as mentally ill, and then joining or being forced to engage with a service that really doesn't do any good. Besides, and this is bad, medication, drugging somebody up to prevent them from moving forward in terms of the awakening process. What blockers maybe are used? I don't know. As I said, I'm not a mental health practitioner, but I am concerned not only for myself, but also for thousands and thousands of people out there that are going through this. Time will tell. So, as I've said, that's my introduction. As I've said, this recording, I'm going to call it Signs You Have Been Chosen by the Universe. And I am going to be totally honest in terms of my expression, in terms of my experience, in terms of the awakening process, and what I have encountered along the way. So here we go. You are different to that of other people. And what I mean by that is that from a child, I can have recollections, experiences that tell me my mind process, even up till now, tells me that what I'm experiencing is actually real. And that I won't say special, because I'm not special, but I have a calling, a very strong calling, to follow this process through to its conclusion. And let me also be clear, not only do I know that I am different and that I have a calling, I have to continue. You are able to communicate with the universe, and the universe with you. And I get these downloads at any time throughout the day, to be fair. Yes, it's a voice. It's a voice that directs me. It doesn't harm me. It directs me. It even reminds me of things that I've forgotten to do. It's not fearful. It doesn't fear me. It doesn't fill me with fear. It's calming. The universe also, what I get is when I meditate, I get, and I close my eyes, the void that I am in when I close my eyes. I can see light intermingling with each other, all different colours, and even I see orbs within that as well. And I see it's like shooting stars going in all directions. This cannot be my imagination. It's too sophisticated. And in fact, I can actually say, until I start to have these experiences, this is something that I could not imagine, make up myself. It's impossible. There needs to be an outside agency, an outside body from the National Health Service to start to investigate what thousands and thousands of people have been saying from time. This has to be undertaken. Gone the days where people can just be removed from their homes and put into an institution and drugged against their will. This has to stop. This is serious. You are aware of the different energies and frequencies affecting the planet. And I think you don't have to identify yourself as being chosen to actually feel the differences that are going around today. People are becoming violent. People are acting out of their normal, I was going to say realms, but normal realms of their own character. People today, chosen or not, they know that something different is happening. And regardless of what I've said about the internet, and I still believe what I've said about the internet is true, the internet is becoming people's reality. But on the other side of that, in terms of what I'm talking about, the awakening process, it's all over. It's all over the internet. To the extent now that it can't be ignored. This difference that is going on now cannot continue to be ignored. I went to the barbers several days ago. The conversation in the barbers was about energy drainers, about how things are changing rapidly. I even heard also, not at the barbers, but within a recording, about the new earth and about how that people who are going to ascend because they have met a certain energy frequency to that of people who are determined as low density and demonic, that the planet is going to be separated in terms of the energy that you are giving out. And just as a reminder, this video is talking about signs you have been chosen by the universe. Spiritual warfare is an everyday reality for you, chosen ones. I'll repeat that. Spiritual warfare is an everyday reality for you, chosen ones. The view in terms of spiritual warfare, depending on your purpose, your mission, the more important, and I'm not excluding people either. I'm not being judgmental, but people who have a serious purpose currently now going forward will undertake spiritual warfare on a more frequent basis. And as I have said previously in other recordings, is that in my experience, the spiritual warfare that I have encountered is really quite sophisticated. And the only reason, and I'm being honest here now, is that I am guided by the universe in terms of my experiences throughout the awakening process, but also I have monitored my own thoughts, and I know now when the thoughts that are entering my mind, I know if they are my thoughts or not my thoughts. And I can say honestly that I have been monitoring my own thoughts for over 12 months now. So although sometimes it's still very difficult to make a determine whether the thought that I have experienced is my thought or not. And on the majority of the occasions, I know that the thoughts that have entered my mind at certain times is not my thought at all. At all. Demonically, the thoughts in terms of spiritual warfare is really quite serious, because I have made a determination for myself in terms of spiritual warfare, and the spiritual warfare that has been affecting me over a period of time, it's been really quite sexual. And to be quite honest with you, some of the sexual thoughts that come into my mind have been absolutely disgusting. And I know that these thoughts are not my thoughts because I'm not capable of thinking of some of these thoughts that come into my mind. I'm not capable. There is somebody else that I met also who has been experiencing spiritual warfare. This person is absolutely terrified of some of the things that comes into her mind. This is a young woman in the 20s. Her mother is also experiencing similar things to her daughter, similar things to me. Three people. And I'm not even mentioning the people that I've spoken to over the last 2 years who have either identified as being chosen by the universe, but also people that I have met that have tried to steer me in the wrong direction. And when I've questioned them, they have become nervous. And I know through my own discernment that these people are lying to me. Another person that I've met absolutely said to me that he had been controlled by a witch for quite some time. And even now he says that he's fighting against what this person interjects into his mind. Please tell me that if this was me experiencing this in isolation on my own, then yes, I would say I would need help. I need help. But I know what I am feeling, what my experiences have been, what I have recorded in evidence for myself, what I have been informed or determined from other people is also real. This needs further investigation. Truly, it needs further investigation. The light, the energy that surrounds me, you, repels people away from you. So, what I mean here, I know for a fact, I've seen it, I've witnessed it, that when I come into contact with somebody and my energy is too light, maybe, that they have looked at me differently. On one occasion, I was waiting for to have service in terms of having my tyres balanced. And I was sitting at this table, and there was two tables. They were full with, and I was on my own, and there was different conversations going on. And this person spoke to me, and I answered, and because of my tone being English, people turned around and looked at me. This one person, for whatever reason that was going through his mind, started to swear at me and told me he doesn't like me. There's something about me he doesn't like. That was unusual. People are not that verbal. I didn't even know that person. That person has never seen me before in his life, but yet he chose, for whatever reason, to abuse me verbally in that sort of way, to the fact that the people he was with apologized for him. The world is changing. The human race is evolving. Signs you have been chosen by the universe is what this video is about. In my experience, and my experience is going to be probably different to other people's experience, but there is going to be some link in terms of what I'm talking about to everybody who is experiencing the awakening process. Solitude. I've been in solitude now, isolated, in terms of the awakening process for quite some time. A long time, actually. A long time. And within this experience, solitude, isolation, I have become to know myself even more. And also, being honest, I have the universe's frequency. So I know when the universe contacts me, and I can actually ask the universe questions also. Sometimes it takes a while to come back, but it does come back. If you are associating to what I am saying, you need to make yourself known. You need to come out your shell. You need to come out of your bubble. Because there are other people that are waking up now. They will support you. They will support you. I myself will endeavour, I promise, that if anybody contacts me, I will respond. Because this needs to be out in the open. It needs to be out in the open. Look, do you hear? Wake up. You know yourself whether you are being contacted by the universe or whether you are or have an association to the demonic world. You know. But even so, if you have a connection demonically, there is help. There is help. And actually, you can help yourself by talking to the universe, by letting the universe know what is actually going on in your mind, the difficulties that you're experiencing. I can actually say I am surprised sometimes when I am probably sitting down in the quiet and I have a thought that comes into my mind, and this is another way of knowing that you have been chosen by the universe. I have a thought come into my mind that has not come up for over 30 odd years. It just comes back into my mind. And I know at this moment in time, and for me personally, that I am going through a process of clearance, that things that have been lying around in my body, in my mind, that is having no use, has been cleared by the universe, making room for other things that are coming into my life that I need to perhaps focus on. So, out with the old and in with the new is the saying from me. Because what I'm experiencing is real. And even now, I can feel a frequency in my mind that is really quite supportive to me. And some of the things that I am saying, I'm being challenged, not challenged, I'm channeling from the universe, because that's just the way it is. That's the way it is. That's me being guided. If you're laughing, then fair enough. But there are people out there that will see this recording, and this recording will settle them out. It will help them. Yes, there is somebody else experiencing what I'm experiencing. And I'm going to say it as well. And they're going to think I am not mad. And hopefully, for you, listening to me here now, will give you the encouragement to come out and be counted. Start to advocate on your own behalf and for other people that are listening and watching you. This will give them encouragement to say, I can't continue to hide, I have to come out. And this is what is needed. People need to come out of their shell. Put that scaredness is not the word I'm looking for, but people are scared. So they can actually put this feeling behind them and move forward in the open, freely, to start to express their experiences in terms of the awakening process. So that was isolation, is a way of getting to know yourself better and to become more aware of the Most High. Your body is an antennae to keep you safe from low density people. And it's real. It's real. I've been warned. My body has reacted in a way. I've been uncomfortable when I have been in a certain person's vicinity. My body tells me, and I know. And that person has looked at me and moved away, because that person has also known that I know that they're demonic, and they know that I am of the light. Your body reacts differently on a daily basis. One day you can be up, and the next day there's some sort of challenge in terms of who you are. And this is where I'm really quite concerned, because I am actually saying in recording that on some occasions that I am up and other occasions that I am down, and this is in the same day, where professional practitioners, whether from healthcare or whoever, could actually say that I've got bipolar. And this is where the difficulties lie. In terms of the awakening process that thousands and thousands of people have experienced, to the mental health services that have been around for centuries with their own programs, drug dispensaries, the healthcare needs to actually be honest and say that they don't know actually what is actually going on with a specific amount of people who have been referred to them under the guise as having some sort of mental health issue. People now need to start to be honest, because what is going on now, is going to affect more people going forward. So you're telling me that the mental health services are going to just continue to respond to these people who are different like me in the same way? I will not allow this to happen to me. And if anybody contacts me, I will not allow that to happen to them either. We need to start to advocate on each other's behalf. All these people that have been talking about the awakening process over the internet need to start saying similar things, because this cannot continue to go on. This cannot continue. I want to read that again. Your body reacts differently on a daily basis. One day you are up and the next you are down, and you are able to pick up negative energies from other people, but not just from other people. There are energies going around that people can align to that are positive, but at the same time, there are energies going around that are negative. The difference is you need to make yourself aware of what is going on today. You are accustomed to early mornings between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. Sometimes earlier. I am aware now that there is a veil separating this planet from another dimension. And there are several dimensions. But between the hours of 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. is the time where the universe frequency is out there for people to tap into. And I've said, please be aware of these energies. To tap into an energy that creates fear within your body, within your vessel, is not a good energy. To tap into an energy that fills you with joy and love and encouragement is the universe. You cannot mistake this. Cannot mistake this. Please listen to what I'm saying to you. To tap into an energy that creates you with fear is demonic energy. But on the other side of that, to tap into an energy that fills you with love and encouragement and peace, is the universe. You are aware of individuals who drain your energy. Simple statement. You know. You are aware of the different functions of the body. Your heart is your memory. Your mind is the hard drive. Your soul and your spirit communicates with the universe. And at some point, that communication will come to your mind, and it will come when it's required. Try this for an example. If you are identifying as a chosen one, ask yourself a question. Ask your heart a question. That answer might come straight away, or it might come at some point throughout the day, but it will come, and you will know when it comes. You will know. Your heart is the memory. Your heart remembers your previous lives also. When you close your eyes, you have different experiences to that of the majority of people you have discussed this with. Now, I touched on this earlier. When I used to close my eyes, before I started to go through this experience, what I would see is dark. I'd close my eyes and it would be dark. Now, when I close my eyes, it is bright light. I see different colours intermingling. I see symbols and orbs and other things that have come up in my mind. And this is something different that I have noticed over the last couple of years. When I look at a bird, I can see the energy around that bird. So, and what happens is the bird is flying. If the bird is flying along in a straight line, it has an energy circle around it. But as soon as that bird goes off in another direction, the energy that bird was flying along continues. When the bird moves into another direction, it comes away from that energy, and then that energy will catch up with the bird and cover the bird again, and the bird will continue. So, energy is flowing. I'm not sure if I can express that properly, but I will think of another way as time goes on to express that. And I'm wondering actually how many people have this experience, and I would like to. This is something that I would like to know. And let me say this also, is that this site is very new compared to the sites that have been around for years and years. And I tried, not tried. I was recorded under another name 12 months ago, and for some reason, the internet service or the site that I was using shut my site down, and I still have no idea why that is. But they were saying that my site received quite a few complaints that I ignored. So the site was communicating with me, but was going into my junk. So by the time I'd realised, it was too late. But I can assure you, what you see of me now is what my other site displayed of me. I was not shouting. I was not saying anything harmful to anybody. I was not swearing. I was not creating a fuss. Who you see now in front of you is who I am and who I have been in terms of my other site. And despite me trying to regain the name of my site, I was not successful. So this is my second site that I've created in terms of the awakening process. And I have to put that out there because this is about my experience in terms of the awakening process. It's not leading people up the garden path. It's not about leading people in the wrong direction. This is about me being truthful. This is about me trying to help other people who are experiencing things or similar things to me. This is what this site is about. You receive downloads from the universe and you can hear frequencies in your ears and in your mind from the universe. And this is when you know. This is not, is it called tinnitus? This is not tinnitus at all. Absolutely not tinnitus. And this is, again, something else that the medical profession will say is that what you're experiencing is not real. You have bipolar, and it's not frequencies that you're hearing, it's tinnitus. Everything that is geared up in terms of mental health assessments are geared up to put you down, to make you think that you are not normal, to make you think that you've got mental health issues, a mental and emotional difficulties, when that is not true. You know yourself that is not true. And in fact, I think some people have been experiencing this for a long time and they have not had the proper intervention, and they have now started to listen to what the medical profession has installed in them, is that they have had a mental health breakdown, and this is how they are responding now in the event. No, not in the event. This is how they are responding now in line with what they have been told, because they have no reference. They have no other reference in terms of aligning themselves to, in terms of their own experience. So they have no choice, because they've been with this for some time, to start to believe what the medical profession is actually saying. And they are wrong. The medical profession is wrong in their assessment of people who are having this awakening experience. They are wrong. I hope this is not the case for you, but your relationship you have with your family is not the same as it used to be. I'll read it again. I hope this is not the case for you, but the relationship you have with your family is not the same as it used to be. And what do I mean by that? The awakening process is real. And as well has been evidence that is real for you, there's also evidence out there that goes against your experiences. One is good, one is demonic. And just like anything else, there is always good and bad. So what I'm saying here is that depending on where you get your information from, can be manipulated. Social media is an avenue where the majority of people pick up their information in terms of the awakening process. So as much as that the universe also engages in the distribution, distribution. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the information given out, demonically, there is also information that is given out on social media that is not real. And it's this information demonically that is given out by the internet that is entrapping people in the wrong direction. There is good and there is bad. And as I've said, if you are aligned with energy that creates fear within your body, that is demonic. If you are aligned to energy that fills you with love, encouragement, this is the universe. You need to get this distinction in your mind. The universe directs your forward movement. The universe directs your forward movement. And what I mean by that is that sometimes I've ended up in a restaurant, or I don't use bars, or I will be sitting somewhere in a meat shop, or I'll be doing something. Somebody will come up and talk to me and start talking to me as if they've known me for a long time. And the conversation has been around the awakening process. The conversation has been around some of the difficulties that they have had. And fortunately, the difficulties that they have had, I have also had. And when I've talked about my experiences in line with what they've been experiencing, seems to make them feel better. I can only suggest that the universe has directed me in a certain place in order to have that encounter. Are you one of these people this is affected also? Because if it is, you also have been chosen by the universe. This is evidence. And you also have other evidence of your own experience that will bring you back in line with your experience of the universe and your experience encountered as being a chosen one. I hope you understand what I've just said. I hope you're understanding what I've said throughout the whole video. I am not here for jokes. I am not here to waste my time. This is a part of my purpose. If you come across anybody who is having this experience, share this recording. Don't keep it to yourself. We need to be aware that there are people around you that are of similar experience. And if we all start to engage with each other, and I'm not saying either that because we are or we have the similar frequency or energy that we would get on. I talked in another recording yesterday about unconditional love. And it's about the standard of how we should treat each other. So just because you are determined as a chosen one, it does not mean that you will get on with another person who is also determined as a chosen one. What is required here is understanding and a standard of how we should treat each other going forward. And you will find this within the unconditional love. This is how we are going to go forward as a planet, as the human race, as an individual. Things are changing. The human race is evolving. You can either stand back in the dark and look at what's going on in the light and come out in the light, or just stay in the dark. This probably will coincide with what I've heard about the new earth. And this is also about frequencies. This is also about your understanding. This is also about, are you prepared to align yourself with the universe and move forward? Or are you going to stay in the dark and be manipulated to live a life that is fearful? It's up to you. It's really up to you. But whatever you decide will affect your family, will affect your children. Think about what you're doing. Make the right decisions for yourself. The universe has brought back to me memories, thoughts I have not recalled for years. And I've spoken about this also already. This is about clearance. This is about creating space in my vessel for me to move forward. And at the moment now, in my left ear, I have a frequency and energy. That's probably a download. And I haven't even began to talk about supernatural experiences that I have experienced, that I have had. But I can assure you, the supernatural events that have happened to me over the past 15 months, 2 years, have been supportive, have been protective, have removed me out of harm. The whispers that I experience advise me in a positive way, and they are true. I have evidenced it. They are true. Things that have been spoken to me in whispers, a few days later of having that experience, the warning has come to light. So I've been informed, I have been protected before I have actually come to some form of harm or difficulty that has been created for me to go off centre, go off in a different direction from what I was previously. So people, this is my evidence in terms of signs you have been chosen by the universe. Signs you have been chosen by the universe. Okay, I have come to the end of this video. It has been 53 minutes now. And I am done in terms of this now. I am not sure where I am going, where the universe has taken me, but I am here. I'm going nowhere. Please, if you resonate, you agree with what I'm saying, please subscribe. If you come across anybody that you feel this recording would benefit, please share. It's time now that we stand up and voice our experiences, our concerns, because you watching me is needed. You are needed. Stand up. Don't be afraid. Do what the universe requires of you. Your purpose, your mission needs to be completed. now. Thank you. My name is Ian. I love you all. I shall be back again soon. Take care for now.